Whoa, that scared me. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Dollars to Deuces, episode number 41. It's week 11. I can't believe it's gone by so fast. We're here talking, obviously, NFL spreads, player props, survivor pool, and some confidence pool picks as well. Tonight, as always, I'm joined by Mr. Abe at MVinFF. How we doing tonight, pal?
Good. That's finally it's finally good to be on here on a victory week as a Packers fan. So it's definitely a better week than normal. So usually I'm like, we got to keep looking forward. But I just got done turning off NFL Network just clicked over at 10 o'clock, and it had the Packers game on, so I got to watch the ending again. So doing a lot better this week.
I was on the show last night with Justin, and I told him I was almost in tears. Like, it's been like I was so invested in such a rough 5 weeks that you're just like, I didn't even know what to do. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, just didn't think it. You just don't know. And God, this felt right. But got a short week, and it's gonna be fun tomorrow night. So
you were having a Derek Carr moment?
I didn't cry. The fucking eyeliner didn't get in my eyes or anything like that. It was just, I was just encapsulated in happiness.
A perfect time to talk about our show being having the little E on it is what that came out to be.
Yeah, E for everybody. That's what it's for, right? No, yeah. We may say a couple swear words here and there. Like I said, we're talking about gambling. If you're under 18 or 21, don't listen to this, or whatever. Just letting you know. Rich at @FearBandito_FF. Rough weekend for you, but glad you're here. Looking fresh, by the way. I need one of those hats. I would wear it all the time.
Well, my lighting ain't working right here, so I'm going with the dark episode, but it's actually a brand new hat.
Yeah, it's badass. I want one of those, dude. I need that hat. I need one of those. That thing's awesome.
That is pretty sweet.
So
yeah,
I can't quite see
a nice ass hat.
I was going with a red theme since I'm usually sporting black the whole time and everything. So I wanted to sport the new hat. Normally I'm sporting some other gear, but we're going to save for another week.
Maybe this is the week.
Well, you know what? We all bet the Cowboys last week, and that kind of ended up biting us in the butt, but it turned out good for you guys. So
it did.
I was fully expecting to get dog walked and be blown out, but Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers definitely play pretty well against the Cowboys, and that game felt pretty playoff atmospheric, which was weird because how poor they had played. But hey, you know what? I forgot to even say the best thing about it all. Amari Rodgers got cut. Thank God.
Yes.
I mean, it only took fucking forever. Hey, see ya. Good luck in Houston, dude.
You weren't the only text message I got yesterday. It was like phone going off. I'm like, what's going on? So I went and looked at it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good day.
I said the thing about Kylan Hill. I was like, man, I was hoping he'd get a little bit of run. I guess he had a shit attitude, kind of like at Mississippi State. He was kind of a little shithead, and I think it kind of continued up here.
It was more of that than it was like anything else. So, and I don't even know what it is yet. I haven't heard too much about it.
I just saw LaFuck said he was like, well, he just attitude kind of didn't fit in right or whatever. Basically,
that's what I heard also. So
I
would have put Amari Rodgers in a freaking Uber on Sunday at 5:55 when he fumbled. I just don't get it why they just keep trotting him out there.
That's what I'm saying. That's the part that just aggravates me so much. It's like, we're just gonna keep doing it. We're just gonna keep banging our head into the fucking wall and not having the football because that's all he does. And
then they punt. Then I think Nixon's first punt, he got
he catches it up here
his head or something. Oh shit! Here we go again. Gosh, it doesn't matter who we put out there. So
yeah, it didn't hurt that Christian Watson blew up and had a big game and say, you know what, maybe we don't need him.
Yeah, he hasn't done. I don't even know if he played any offensive snaps last year.
Who's that?
Rogers.
He did. He did.
No,
he was limited.
I mean, I don't think his route running has been very crisp this year, but he's made a couple of good catches. on offense. But he can't catch the ball when he's the only one out there, when he has to look
I
up.
just don't understand. Like I said, why do you keep putting him out there for goddamn punt return? He showed you. I've said it 100 times. When a guy showed you who he is, fucking believe him. Like, he's not going to change. Like, how many chances do you give the guy?
No, but I do think. I think the kid's loaded with talent. He was really good at Clemson. Like, maybe he
so
just
Sammy
needs
Watkins.
Oh, fuck, Sammy Watkins. But anyways, good point. Maybe I should just shut up. But anyways, like, maybe a change of scenery. Like, I root for the kid because, like, he came in with a really good attitude this year and said, like, hey, I need to work on, like, the mindset of the game and all that stuff. Like, I feel like I have all the tools, but I need to work on the mindset of the game. And that could have been what it is. It could be like, hey, every time that ball's in the air and he's looking up, he's thinking, don't drop, don't drop, don't drop. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to fucking drop it. So, I just maybe he'll go somewhere where it's not as much pressure down in Houston, and maybe he'll be a little bit better.
They got a punt returner down there. If they got somebody to return punts, maybe he'll be okay.
I don't know.
I said,
I don't think they stop enough people to return punts, so I don't know.
That's true. I don't know. I can't even count how many muff punts. Probably 6 to 8 in the last 2 years, something like that. And I'd never ever in my life been so nervous for a punt when it was like, dude, this is just gonna be a fucking turnover. Like, this is like a long pass play. Like, that's literally what it felt like.
Yeah.
And it was time in, time out. You're sitting there, you're just like, oh my God, just catch the ball. And it's like, he's worried about return. It's like, dude, just fair catch it. Or just, we should just try to block it every time. Send 11 to the punter. Just let it fucking roll. I don't care if they can stop it for one.
Yep.
Like, oh God, it was just so nerve-wracking. And whatever, dude.
He gone.
Yeah. Keyshawn Nixon time. We're going to catch it over our head all the time. I like that. It's wild.
All hands.
Yeah. Anyways, obviously, you check out on Twitter at 12 Titles. You can find myself at Nate_Dirt19, Abe at MVinFF, and Rich at FreedomBandito_FF. How to listen? Obviously, you listen to us on YouTube right now. You can listen to us on Podbean, Spotify. We have 2 different Facebook pages now, Apple Podcasts, Twitch. I think I hit them all. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button and the little bell to notify us when we're going live. Shows Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursday. No, not Thursdays. Thursdays we take the day off. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So tons of content all the time. TotalStyles.com, where all the articles are posted and links to the videos, things like that. Soon. I don't think anybody's said this yet. Can we say it, Rich, that we're gonna start selling T-shirts and hats and stuff on the website?
Yeah, we're going that route anyways and everything. So I got with my daughter. Yeah, those shirts right there. Hopefully we got some. We're gonna have some hoodies, not hoodies, but beanies. I don't know if we want to discuss what me and Coach are talking about, having a toilet roll on the front.
Don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
Oh, but yeah, we got some stuff coming and everything. We're gonna
just give a little teaser.
Have some merchandise coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, I got a sweet keychain that Nina sent me, some stickers. Like I said, Rich sent me the shirt and hat. Like, I got some sweet shit. Like, it's gonna be fun to have, have our brand out there a little bit. So, then obviously Patreon.com/TotalStyles. A bunch of tiers right now. Good time to get in. You can get in for as little as $3 a month, cheaper than what you're spending at McDonald's or whatever you're getting your coffee at. It's playoff push. Not for me in fantasy football, because I don't know if I'm making the playoffs in any league I'm in. It's been a good year. But it's fine. I don't really care about that. So, but the rest of the guys are really good at fantasy football. Me, not so much this year, but it'll be okay. So I think we got everything there, right? Hit it all. Yep. So real quick before we get going, Survivor pick. I think I'm on a little bit of a roll here, so it's destined to end this week. I've got 4 in a row. Oh, so is Abe. You might have more than that.
Abe actually got some more.
We got like 7 in a row, dude. Holy shit. Abe, go first.
Wow, I do have quite a few in a row. I'm picking the 49ers this week on Monday Night Football in Mexico.
Viva la raza, baby.
Yeah, they're changing their Twitter handle and everything. But yeah, I like the 49ers. I like the way they look this week. And who knows who the hell is going to be starting at quarterback for
Colt McCoy.
I mean, they're a different team with him playing.
They're better with Colt McCoy. But
I don't know if I'd go that far, but they look better with him this week. So I have the 49ers my survivor pool, I'm trying to make it another week.
Rich.
That's a surprising pick, but we'll come back to that one as we're making our picks later on. I am actually going
the Cardinals, Rich.
Do what?
Nothing.
Yeah. I am going the Bears. I got my reasoning for it, but yeah, I'm going Bears this week. I did have the Chiefs last week. Bears are on a roll. Fields is on a roll. Now, I think Khalil Herbert, he got put on IR if I read correctly.
Right.
Komet is injury, so I don't know why I'm going.
He better play. He better play because that guy he carried me last week in the league actually.
Well, I mean, we've been rolling with the Falcons all year on their spreads, and all of a sudden that's fell apart on us. So I'm going against that this week, and I'm going with the Bears.
I respect that because they look like dog shit right now. I was talking to a guy in one of my actually in 2 leagues with me, Kevin Frey. You probably know him, Rich, Coach Frey or whatever. That Chef's buddy. He's a big Falcons fan, and he seems to think that Ritter won't start at all this year, which is like what I really am hopeful for. Like I've told you that, Abe, since the draft. I want him to be benched all year. I was actually hoping for like a Riddler to Ridley connection, but he's a Jaguar now. So guess he's going to throw to Drake London, which is fine. So I'm taking the Commandos. Texans stink. And Heineke is a dog. And he's starting, dude. I'm pretty sure Riverboat Ron said he's starting. Like, how can you not have him start?
He got announced today.
Yeah.
Tonight, like 5 today. I saw it. So
yeah, so he's starting. They're just going to keep running the football. I think they rushed for like 140 some yards last Monday night, averaging like 3-4 a carry, which is not very good. But just keep running the ball. It works. And the Texans have the worst ranked rush defense, I think, in the league. So I'm pretty sure Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson will both probably go for 100 yards, maybe. And Terry McLaurin is good. Heineke, he does not have a very strong arm, but he can still sling it a little bit. So, I like the Washington football team in my survivor pool, which is a sweet pick to make. Hey, if I didn't use him this time, when was I going to use him?
Yeah,
it's probably the best time to use it. I think that's the reason why I went with the Bears.
Well, we'll see about that. This is the week. All right. Last week. Well, Abe kicked ass last week. I did not. That's okay. I think we actually did okay player prop wise. First game, I know, like I said, we all had the Falcons, which stinks. I don't know what happened there. That was I think that was the end of it for the Falcons. I don't know. I was texting Abe and just Mariota's trash. And I did hit the first half under 20.5. They only had 16 points. Rich had Mariota's over a passing yards, 162.5. That's probably his career high. And Abe he was 2 out of 3 there. For Terrace Marshall going over 35.5. I actually picked him up and started him in bar pigs, Abe. That's how desperate I was. Hoping for a touchdown.
In the league also.
It didn't happen. DJ Moore
he only had 1 catch for 43, and he almost broke it to score. So I'm like, I'll get there, but he didn't. So, and then DJ Moore got hurt. So he came in a little bit later, but that was another player prop I had. And he got about half of his projected yards at 58.5. But it was a game where I thought there'd be a little bit more action with those wide receivers, and there just wasn't. I mean, the Falcons are trash against wide receivers, and the top 2 for the Panthers didn't amount to much. So, but Deonta Foreman looked really good. Yeah, he did. Seahawks-Bucks game was actually a pretty good game. I was disappointed that the Bucks won. That's okay. I missed one player prop. I had Kenny Walker over 77.5. He only had 17 yards. I don't even know why because I didn't watch the game. But I did have Rashad White over 25.5, and he had 105 yards. He had a big day. I look for that to continue after this week because they're going to bye this week. So I hope. And the Bears-Lions barn burner. How about them Lions, huh? That was a big game for him. Hutchinson, I had him over 0.75 sacks. He did have a sack, so that was cool. Abe had Komet over 25.5 receiving yards. I believe he did hit that, right? Yeah, he did. I did not put these in for some reason today, but I think that I know that Komet hit, and then I'm checking on their Herbert and Mooney right now. I think Mooney hit also, but
over 42.5. Herbert got hurt, but I don't know if it was in the game or after.
Yeah, Komet had 74, and his over-under was 25.5. Mooney had 57 and his over was 42.5. Then I had Herbert's rushing of 40.5 and he was over of 57. So all three of those.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And Rich had Fields over 180.5 passing yards. I didn't know he had that many passes. No.
He didn't.
You have it in
green.
He
didn't get it.
Well, you have it in green. You threw me off. I was going to say, I thought
I know. That was me forecasting out last week, and I forgot to change it.
I forgot you did that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he hasn't thrown for that. He throws for like 110 yards every week on like 17 passes, and people fucking blow up like he's Josh Allen.
He almost reached his rushing yards in passing last week. Around like 140, 160 area.
I actually meant to put rushing, but
Okay.
that definitely would have.
Browns Dolphins. Of course, Chubb's over of 84.5. He didn't hit it. Elliott 6 yards. He did score a touchdown. They got boat raced by the Dolphins, which happens a lot to teams, and didn't really have a chance to run the ball. Donovan Peoples-Jones over 41.5. Had 99 yards. Didn't realize that. Chubb's over 8.5 receiving yards at 18. Good job, Abe. And Rich had the under, which did not hit. I don't know if we can bet the under with the Dolphins anymore.
No, I don't think you can.
So, Chiefs Jags. I called the Tony touchdown. Finally scored his first touchdown in his NFL career. So good for him. Probably gonna do that again this week. He is probably the best receiver on that team. I think now. Juju's good, but I just think Tony can do more.
Juju got knocked the fuck out.
Yes, he did.
There's my swear of the show.
Until we get to the Raiders. Shouldn't have been staying in there, right?
Yeah.
Abe had Etienne's longest rush. He didn't hit it because he only had 10 yards. Is that what we're saying?
That was his longest rush was 10 yards at a time. He only ended up with like 45 on the game or something like that. But I think that was the first time that has not hit in the last 6 or 7 weeks. So I kind of rode that.
I thought the Jags were going to cover. So close. Half a point. No, we didn't have any props for the Bills-Vikings game. Dude, by the way, Paul Allen, if you're listening, I know you're not. You are a terrible commentator on the radio to listen to. I cannot stand you on the radio. I had to listen to that shit. He's like their color commentator. Dude. God, it's miserable. Bills should have won that game. Vikings got lucky again. Even though they had 12 guys on the field at one point. Whatever. Texans Giants. Danny Dimes did not hit his over and rush. He only had 24 yards. He didn't really have to because that game was – I think Doug Mills only threw for like 70 yards in the first half, and then he ended up over 300. So second half kind of came on a little stronger. Abe had Saquon over 93.5 rushing yards, hit with 152. Nothing in the Broncos Titans because nobody cares. Steelers Saints, same thing. Colts Raiders. What Abe had, Raiders minus 3.5 first half. They were down by 6, so they lost.
That's the first time the Colts covered in the first half all year long.
I think it's the first time the Colts have covered it at all. Well, I guess they won a couple games. Rich did have a car passing over 239.5 yards, which he did do.
Yeah, he had like 240 something.
That boy. Commandos, Eagles. Rich had total team touchdown over 3.5. The Eagles did not hit that. That game was insane to me. I don't even know what the hell happened. Taylor Heineke, I guess. That's what happened. Our long shots last week, I had Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs both scored a touchdown. They both went for like over 150 some yards, I think, but only Justin Jefferson scored a touchdown. So, oh well. Abe had Saquon over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had 152 yards, but 1 touchdown. Then he also had the Vikings Chargers money line parlayed at plus 823, which the Chargers lost. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're not good.
They fucking stink, dude. Brandon Staley. Like I said, he's worse than LaFuck, I think. And I hate Matt LaFuck. Brandon Staley.
He's an awful coach.
That guy is a dipshit.
He is an awful coach.
Yeah.
We'll get to see it again on Sunday Night Football. So, but for some reason they play really good against the Chiefs. We'll get to that in a little bit. But yeah, he's a terrible coach.
Yeah. Rich had McCaffrey, 1 rushing, 1 receiving touchdown. Did not hit. He only had 1 rushing touchdown. Bum.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that game is freaking Elijah Mitchell came back this game and stuff, and he had more attempts in rushing than McCaffrey did.
That's just Kyle Shanahan. He just don't care. You know? So moving on. Records last week, Abe just destroyed everybody at 9-5. I was 6-8, Rich was 5-9. We all are tied now. I was putting these in and I started laughing because we're all 68, 78, and 4. So we're a little under 500, but that's okay.
Yeah, I've had 2 good weeks to climb back up to your guys' ladder. So I'm getting up there finally. It took a while. I was really, really struggling for a while.
It's okay. I've been struggling. I think I had good first week, and then it's just been all downhill from there. So, oh well. Week 11 got some solid buys. Jaguars. So if you play ETN, that's your guy on a buy. I don't think they have anybody else, do they? That plays.
Kirk, yeah.
Oh yeah, the guy that ruined the wide receiver market. I forgot he's on that team. Seahawks. So Geno Smith, Kenny Walker, DK and Lockett, I guess, been whatever. The Dolphins. So your whole team, and then Tampa Bay, which has started to score again. So some pretty big quarterbacks, really. Tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. Packers are at home hosting the Mike Vrabel-led Titans. Packers are 3.5-point favorites at home. Go ahead. Rich, you can go first.
Yeah, so, I'll just go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. We all picked the Titans and everything, so but we do all got player props on this game. I am taking Rodgers over 1.5 passing TDs.
Okay.
I'm picking the Titans also. This game was a 3-point spread this afternoon, and it moved to 3.5 tonight when I looked. So it's updated at 3.5. I have the Titans also. I have my player props are I like Derrick Henry over 100 rushing yards, and I really, really, really like his longest individual rush over 17.5. I think Green Bay is going to have a hard time tackling him. So I think that he's going to bust a couple into the secondary and drag a few guys. So that 17.5 I really, really like a lot.
Yeah, and we won't try to play anything but our nickel defense. I'd probably just put fucking 9 guys in the box and be like, hey, Tannehill, throw it, because he won't. But I don't know. I like Titans. I don't, but I don't know. I don't want to be too overconfident with one game, So I got Titans, but I like Aaron Jones over 57.5 rushing yards, and I also like Aaron Rodgers over 2.5 rushing yards. Their defense, they had some guys hurt last week, so I don't know what the Titans' defense is going to look like. But we'll see.
Their defense has been pretty stout. That's one of the ones I've been to stream them and everything. And I feel like how the Lions played against the Rodgers, it kind of be that same kind of game and everything.
I agree.
But on the same token, we're in the lighter half of the season and everything, and running games tend to dominate as you're going towards the back half of the season, going into cold weather. I don't know what the weather is supposed to be like over in Green Bay this week, but that kind of weather is Henry type weather. So if they can control the ground game, control the clock and everything,
Aaron Jones,
I don't see why they can't cover that 3.5.
Yeah, I think Henry he's going to get in our secondary and look for Darnell Savage to try to tackle him, and hopefully he gets knocked out for the game. I don't hope for injuries by any means, but I cannot stand Darnell. I can't stand watching him. I was a big fan of him last year, but the guy, he almost tries to tackle, but he can't. And Henry's going to make him look like a fool tomorrow. He's going to win that Scepter Award probably against Darnell Savage. And it probably won't even be that big of a run or hit, but I just think he's going to get in our secondary and dominate us. Hopefully we kill on him a little bit. Hopefully, like Nate said, we make him throw the ball and try to beat us that way. With Westbrook Akina or whatever his name is, and now that they got Traylon Burks back, and Bobby Trees, I'd like to see us put up a big front against them and try to stop Henry. Last time we played them a couple years ago was, I think around Christmas, 2 years ago. And Henry didn't play well in that cold weather up in Green Bay, so we'll see what tomorrow looks like. But we also got
it's supposed to be mid-20s with a little bit of wind tomorrow night.
Yeah, 25, 24, 25.
I don't remember seeing Tannehill play in the cold weather either. I feel like he's not a good guy in the cold weather. We'll see how Derrick Henry does. I know so we're kind of built for that. We finally scored over 30 points last week too, which kind of gave me a little bit of hope. So we can do it.
Yeah.
We'll see. Lions, Giants. We're all on the Giants here. I think that's pretty much a no-brainer. I know the Lions, Packers, and Vikings all had big double-digit deficits in the fourth quarter last week. Came back from all three of them. Granted, the Lions was against the Bears. But I like Giants. So does everybody else. Rich got a player prop. AB, you got anything to say about this game?
I mean, it's the first Lions got their first road win under their coach, under Dan Campbell last week. I think they're pretty fired up. I don't. This could be one game that might be an upset game. I don't know why. I just, you think no way. Like, I would expect this spread to be around 6. Giants playing at home, but Detroit has played. They didn't play very good against the run defense against the Bears. Well, against Fields, I should say, but they kind of force you to throw, and that's not really the Giants' MO. So we'll see if they stack the box and do what they did kind of against Green Bay a few weeks ago and says, hey, beat us through the air, and if you can, great. If not, whatever. But the Giants at home is tough to not pick them against a team that's not very good, but they're on a 2-game winning streak. So, in the division. So it's hard to kind of say if they don't make this a game and surprise people.
I forgot to say Danny Dimes over his rushing yards. It's not posted yet, but yeah.
He was I did a same game parlay last week with the Giants, and I bet him, I don't know, I moved it to like 20. I moved it to 29.5, and everything else hit. And I was sitting there and I was asking Jared, I'm like, what's Danny Jones got? I know he's got his rushing yards, and he's like, I think he's got 14 or something. It was late in the game.
He had like 24.
And then he ran one for like 11. And then he had to take a couple knees late in the game to finish with 24. So he hasn't been running as much as what we're kind of used to, but we'll see. I mean, he's going to have Hutch kind of chasing him down, so he might break out a few.
Yep. Rich.
So yeah, my player prop for this game is Barkley. He continues his run at 100 yards plus per game and stuff like that. I think he had 152 last week.
Yeah.
I like him going. This was a weekly special that they had. Like I said, usually when we do our show, a lot of the player props ain't out. So a lot of times I look at the weekly special and everything. So Barkley plus 100 rushing and 1 rushing TD.
Yeah, I like that. Next game, a barn burner. Commandos heading to Houston to play. Houston's our home dogs, getting 3.5 points. I like the what the fuck Commandos. Sorry, Washington football team, not WTF. That's how I like. I think Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson just destroy. And Chase Young, best guy in the league at running past the quarterback, is back. So Doug Mills doesn't have to worry about that because he might have a sack, but I doubt it.
I picked the Commanders also, and it was only if Heineke starts is when I actually fill this out. And it sounds like tonight they announced that he's going to start. So I have them, minus 3.5. They're playing good football. I mean, they've won 4 out of the last 5 or something like that. 5 out of the last 6. And they're playing really good right now. So it's hard to kind of bet against them, even though they're giving up 3.5 on the road. That's something that's a little bit scary at times. And they're coming off a huge win, which we see, a lot more in like college sports than we do pro sports, where you come off a big win, you tend to have a little bit of a letdown the next week. But I don't know if a letdown happens against the Texans. So I have the Washington football team Commanders minus 3.5.
Well, you kind of led into where I'm going with this. Yes, they did have a huge win last week against the Eagles and everything. Heineke's is on all levels, top of the world right now after beating the Eagles last week. And Texans are gonna. I feel like this is kind of like led straight into what's gonna happen this week. Did Wentz get brought off IR?
Yeah, today.
Okay, so Wentz is gonna be waiting in the wings and everything. Heineke's gonna go out there after this big win. It's the reason why he's getting the start and everything. And Texans is going to kind of put Dameon Pierce is going to have a big game this week. They didn't have no player props for him, but it just kind of lines up to where it's at Texans and everything. And I just feel the Texans are going to cover this and pull out the win with it being home. Yeah, they had a horrible loss last week and everything, but I just feel like they kind of put the Commandos back in. Heineke looks bad, maybe gets injured, and all of a sudden Wentz is back in the dang lineup.
No chance.
Starting as a starting QB. It kind of
Riverboat Ron hates Carson Wentz. He didn't even like trading for him.
I think Amari Rogers mishandles a punt, and the Commandos take it to the house and cover by 4. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Man. I don't know.
They gave up all this for Wentz and stuff like that. Something's going to happen in this game, and all of a sudden, at the end of the game, Wentz is going to be there, and he's going to get the win. And all of a sudden, it's like, well, next week, Carson Wentz is our new starting QB again. So, yeah.
But I mean, even if the Commandos didn't win last weekend, dude, Heineke is playing way too well to bench him. Like, why? I mean, and it's not like what Carl Wentz ever played well this year. No, that dude fucking stinks, man. Like,
I get it. I did mention the thing about him getting injured.
Don't say that. Don't put that juju on the fucking old Battle Hawk.
I like Heineke.
He's going to carry this team on his shoulders, and he's going to go diving into the end zone, kind of like Wentz did 5 years ago, and all of a sudden bends his knee or something like that, and he can't play no more.
I like the fact that Heineke, I mean, a couple years ago when Tampa Bay went on the run to win the Super Bowl, I mean, he gave them a hell of a game on that Saturday of the playoffs. I mean, ever since then, you got to respect the guy. I mean, he goes out, he wins, he competes. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say, like, hey, Carson Wentz comes back. Usually, you shouldn't lose your job to an injury, but usually when the backup
usually you're not playing better, like dog shit.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz just they don't turn the ball over as much, and they don't play as careless. I don't know. I think that he's your guy. I think you got to roll with him until he loses a couple in a row.
Yep. Browns, Bills. Bills having a rough go of things lately. Even tried to have 12 guys on the field. Didn't help. Myself, I'll say I'm going with Bills. There's no way they're not going to lose this game. They'll cover. I just think it's going to be a game where they're like, hey, what the fuck we've been doing? You know, Diggs has a huge game. I don't know which running back will. Gabe Davis won't have a big game because he stinks. But I like Nick Chubb, of course, with his over and scoring a touchdown again. But I don't think there's any way the Bills can keep, they haven't scored a touchdown in the second half in like 5 weeks. I see that changing. Abe?
I like the Browns because of the weather. They're saying that there could be 6 feet of snow there. The Browns are built better for a shitty weather game like that. I don't know if footing and traction will be an issue, if it will be cleared or not. It sounds like there's going to be no snow on Sunday. But leading up to Sunday, they're saying up to 6 feet. So I like the Browns' running game, and they control the clock a hell of a lot more than the Bills to be throwing the ball in that crappy weather. So that's why I have the Browns +8. I bet against the Browns in these picks all year long because I keep saying, well, they're the Browns, but Nick Chubb he's awesome. We say this all the time. It's Nate's favorite guy. He is awesome. And I just think that he controls that game quite a bit. The Bills have struggled against the run. I thought they held, what's his name, Dalvin in check last week, and then he busts off an 81-yard run. I just think the Browns control this clock. They know how to win. I think that they have a little confidence going into this week. I think they have a little juju going with getting a certain quarterback on the practice field this week. And with this crappy weather, I like the Browns +8.
Yep, same here. Same message I was kind of thinking about the whole time. We're talking about how this game leading up to it is going to be more of a running game and everything. And we're talking about Chubb freaking just dominating everything. But the more I was thinking about it, that takes away from the passing game that Buffalo's so good at because of Allen. But on the same token, he is their run game too. He could easily turn around and have more rushing yards than freaking Chubb in this game and stuff like that. Because I don't see it coming from Singletary and everybody else that's on that squad and everything. So I don't know. It's going to be close. I still think the Bills are going to win, but the Browns are going to cover. This is going to be a close game. And I do have the under because of the weather leading up to that and being a running game that it's going to be under 41.5.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if you guys got to see any of the Bills game last week, but I was here with J-Rob, and there's a few times where I'm like, look at Josh Allen. I mean, he fumbled the ball, and you could tell he was kind of hurting a little bit. If you get into crappy weather like that, I don't know. I think that they're going to struggle in this weather. I mean, Bills are built for their team is not built for this weather, but they're, their stadium and their fans and all this stuff are. But I think the Browns are built a little bit better for this weather, and I think that Josh Allen banged up a little bit. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can sustain a few hits in this weather on his elbow or wherever, his Tommy John, whatever he's got. But yeah, I this game is going to be closer than what I think. I think this spread is a little bit too much.
Yeah, I kind of nervous about it, but I just couldn't bet against him again. So Bears, Falcons. I know we all rode that Falcons train forever, and it was really hard for me to type in the Bears here. I think it's so funny to watch them lose the way they did last week. That makes me sound like a bad guy, I guess, because I'm sure the Packers been losing like that all fucking year, so I can say it all I want. But yeah, I guess maybe the Bears getting points somehow. The Falcons are terrible. I don't know how they're favored anytime. So I like the Bears plus 3.5. Abe?
I like the Bears also in this game plus 3.5. I think the Bears win this game outright. Actually, they found a way to lose this past weekend. But I think Fields is from Atlanta or right around the area. I think so. I think he goes out and has a classic Justin Fields game. I think he runs for a ton. There's a couple props I like. I like his over rushing yards. I don't even know what they're at, but he's going to get over 100. And I really, really, really like his longest rush, his longest individual rush. It's not out yet, but I assume like the last couple weeks it's been 17.5. And he's had like a 69, a 61 yarder. 2 weeks before that, he had a 30 yarder and a 46 yarder. He's busting loose, and I think he does it again this week. I know that the Falcons are trash against the pass, but I just think Fields gets out in the open. I think he busts another long one. So I get the Bears plus 3.5. I think the Bears went outright, actually.
All right. So what do you think the over and under is on his longest rushing yard?
I'm guessing. I mean, it's been 17.5. I think it's probably.
You don't think it goes up with how he's been running and everything?
Yeah, but I don't think it'll say. I put on here of betted on anything that's 25 and below. I would say I would say it's probably 19.5 or 20.5 this week.
Okay, it's not going to be like it's 30 or something. I mean, there's
no I don't think so. I don't think you could do that. So
yeah, no way.
You guys made everything very clear and stuff like that. We're all going Bears. Same here. I'm with Abe. I think they're just going to dominate this week against the Falcons. I think the Falcons, just the season's changed for them and stuff like that. It's going to be one of those seasons. Maybe they're going to make. I know you were saying earlier you don't want to see Ritter get in and stuff like that, but you got to get to the point at some point of this season where you got to see what you got with him, and if Mariota has some bad games and next 2-3 games and stuff like that, you might as well stick Ritter in there and see what he's going to do.
I guess this would be the defense to put him in there against.
Yeah. Do you know that Kyle Pitts, when he catches over, I think it's over 60 or 70 yards, they're undefeated? Like, I just don't get why he is a absolute weapon. I don't understand why he doesn't get the ball more. Like, I mean, and that's on the coaching, that's on the quarterback. They've been down, so they have to throw the ball, and they don't look his way. I just don't get that. I don't understand it. So if I was the Falcons and I saw, hey, we're undefeated when Kyle Pitts gets 70 yards, I think my motivation against a Bears secondary that's disheveled, I think I would say, hey, let's get Kyle Pitts the ball and see if we can keep that tradition going and have him have a big game. But I don't know if people think that way.
No.
Like, hey, let's do something good that's proven. And against a team that has, been beat up against, wide receivers, we'll see. But I guess
I get what you're saying on that, but it comes down to a point too. Comes to Pitt. If you're getting yourself open, they're going to throw the ball to you. So is he truly getting himself open? Is he having those opportunities and stuff like that?
Well, he will this week.
He blocks a lot. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
he's a terrible blocker too.
Yeah, he's not good. But he's been chipping and then going, and then that's when Mariota gets out and he puts his head down and runs. There was a play last week with Mariota. I cannot freaking understand what he was doing. There was a play where he was running to the right and had a pass rush coming at him, and he was probably 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage and just tucked the ball and ran out of bounds. Like, you could clearly throw the ball and gain 8 yards there, but he didn't do it. That is dumbass football. I just don't get it. And I don't understand why as a quarterback who's been in the league for a while, He's obviously had a lot of success in college. He's had a little bit of success here and there. He's played some really, he's played a couple of really good games. I think he played awesome against the Eagles a few years ago. But like, what makes you think like, hey, let's just run out of bounds and lose 8 yards when you can just chuck it and get that 8 yards back? I mean, that right there, when you lose 8 yards and a loss of down, that is dumb. That is stupid football for a team that just doesn't move the ball up and down the field. So my point is that that's not tolerable. I think that you got to look somewhere else. And I know that a lot of people like Nate doesn't want Ritter playing, but you also can't allow that. I mean, it's just dumbass football. So.
Yeah. Oh, well. Moving on. Eagles, Colts. I'll go first. I like Colts to cover. Hey, hell, maybe they even win. I don't know. I think the Eagles looked like shit last weekend. Like, it's just like they turned the ball over a bunch. There was how many drives did they have? Like 17 seconds, 3 and out. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, that's regardless of what I get it if you're down, but they're down by 5 points. It's not like they're down by 14. Like, I don't know, run the football, give your defense a break. Like, they just looked like shit, I thought, as a whole. Jeff Saturday's back, dude. Fuck Jeff Sunday is what I'm gonna start calling him. Best winning percentage in NFL history right now as a coach. 1-0. Give the ball to JT, dude. That's all you got to do. It's pretty easy. Control the clock like the Redskins did or whatever, and you'll see what happens. So I like JT to score this week too. I like the Colts cover. Hell, they might even win. I mean,
I'll go because I'm with you, Nate. I teetered back and forth on this, and Saturday's the new Sunday, I guess. I don't know. I teetered back and forth. I was really, really close to picking the Colts +7. The Eagles did not look good. It looks like Hurts is trying to say like, hey, I don't need to run the ball. I can just sit back here and throw it and all that stuff. And your stud wide receiver has 1 catch for 7 yards. And then you lose Goddard. I mean, I don't know how long he's going to be out, but they didn't look good. They haven't looked good. They faced adversity and they didn't come back and win for once. But I mean, I'm kind of with you, but I maybe the Eagles come out and turn it on and pour it on. I don't know. Against a Colts team that's not very good. The Colts run the ball a lot with JT. I think the Colts cover and could possibly win. But if they get away from it a little bit, I think the Eagles, win this by 2 scores.
Hey, and Matt Ryan looking pretty quick on that 39-yard run.
Wow, that's his longest. That's his longest.
The camera would get ahead of him, like, oh shit, he's not that fast. We gotta slow like that.
In that game, when you see him running, Raiders a Raider defender is right there, and even if he runs, I'll be able to stop him. So he falls back, covering the receiver, and just freaking opens up that whole freaking side. I was so freaking, oh my goodness, when I saw that play, are you freaking kidding me? He had more rushing in that one play than he did his whole career.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think, yeah. Looking freaking good, looking strong.
So, yeah, look, I get what you're saying and stuff like that, but I am going to go back to the well on this. Oh man,
you're just not picking the Colts because they beat you last weekend.
Okay, that might have something to do with it and everything. But look, Eagles went away from the run game last week. I mean, Sanders only had 12 attempts. Hurts had 6, and Gainwell and Boston Scott only had 1. You know what? Goddard getting hurt and not being in this game is going to hurt them. It's going to affect them a lot more than what people think and everything because of the fact that he was there for Hurts and everything. So I think this kind of changes the narrative for that team. They're going to run the ball a lot more because they got a defense that can stop the Colts and everything. They do got a good defense. So it goes back to that old narrative, run the ball and good defense. And I think that's what's going to happen this week. Saturday's not going to win. It's not going to win two games in a row.
They've been giving up yards against the run. I mean, the Eagles have been giving up yards against the run. So we'll see. I know. Then they signed some defensive tackle today. That's like 35 years old, but can still play. I can't think of his name, but we'll see. I mean, the Colts, they stick to a game plan. They can beat the Eagles. And the Eagles, if they're too damn stubborn to say like, hey, we're going to let Hurts throw the ball and show off his arm and get him an MVP season because we're going to prove that he's a throwing quarterback, all that stuff. You keep doing that shit, you're going to keep losing. Do what is best. I mean, we're learning this with the Bears. Like, Fields tried doing that at the beginning of the season. Now we see him running.
What did Nate say? Justin Fields, Jalen Hurts, they're not drop back passing quarterbacks.
No, they're not. So do what you're best at. And we're
run your fucking wing T Oklahoma offense and fucking play football.
Yeah, and then when it opens up, then you can throw the ball. But the Eagles are just too damn stubborn, and we'll see if they go back to basics, like what Rich said, and just run the ball and run the ball and run the ball. If they do that, I think they cover. Because that's going to open up play action and open up Devonta Smith and AJ Brown and things like that. But if they just go out there and try slinging around the field, they're going to get beat.
Yep. Oh yeah, Panthers Ravens. I thought I was by myself. Abe, you go ahead and go first. You're by yourself.
I have the Ravens minus 13. I coming off a bye. I don't know. The Panthers. I think Baker Mayfield sucks. So that's the reason why I have this. This is way too big of a spread for the NFL. And when I first saw this, I'm like, I gotta play the Panthers. But I cannot get on Baker Mayfield's side. And after watching their receivers last week struggle, I think the Ravens put this on. I don't think the Panthers score a lot. I think this is a 23-6 game or something like that. I just think it's kind of a rout. So I think it's too many points, but I'm still in the Ravens minus 13.
Who is Mark Andrews playing?
I don't know yet.
He's still questionable and stuff like that.
So it's going to be Devin Duvernay and Hayden Hurst. That it, I guess.
And Isaiah Likely.
Oh shit! I forgot about Isaiah.
Hurst is with the Bengals.
Yeah, it's that's not his name. Who the hell's the bad?
Isaiah Likely.
There's another one. But anyways,
there's like 5 of them.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and then that big dude, Patrick Ricard. I bet he scores a touchdown this week. That'd be a good bet. He's probably like plus 800 or some shit. That big fullback that was a lineman.
Yeah.
I like the Panthers. Ravens are 4-4-1 against the spread this year. Their defense is dog shit. I think they're 0-2 against the spread off a bye since 2020. I don't think the Panthers win, but I think it's a lot of points. Backdoor cover kind of thing. The Ravens let teams hang around every single week. I know they're 6-3, and I think their 3 losses they've lost by combined like 11 points, so they could easily be 9-0. But their defense, like I said, they let people hang around. Like that Dolphins game. What the fucking Dolphins score in the fourth quarter? Like 28 points. Like that. I don't even know how that happens. Or no, they scored 21 points on like 28 plays. Like that. How does that even happen?
They gained a pretty good defensive player though the last couple of weeks. So
they did, and I know they did, but yeah, I don't know. 13 points is a shit ton. It was 12.5 last night.
It is a lot. I agree.
It seems like a backdoor cover. Baker Mayfield headbutts some dude, breaks his forehead open, and
that was awesome.
That was
that was awesome. By the way, I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Hopefully, Chuba Hubbard scores a touchdown this weekend if he's not hurt. Rich,
I am hoping that Foreman goes off and goes for 150 plus yards, 2 TDs, because I am playing my man Nate in Frankenstein League this week, and I will have him in my starting lineup, running all over the freaking Ravens defense.
That team Jackson stinks in that league now.
I like the player prop of Jackson over 180.5 passing yards. I don't think he goes crazy enough, but I think he easily could do 180.5. So might be all to Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake's been a freaking machine there.
A former Raider. Rich is going to have on his Raiders Kenyon Drake jersey.
Has anyone seen if Gus Bus is playing?
He's questionable.
He practiced yesterday, I think. But
yeah.
Jets, Patriots. We're all on the Jets. I wanted to pick the Patriots, but I couldn't. They're 0-2 against the spread since 2020 as well, off a bye. I don't know if Patriots team's going to show up ever. The Jets, we kind of know who they are. Their quarterback's really bad. But Michael Carter's not bad, and their defense has been playing pretty well. I like the Jets. They're in second place in the division, which is wild. I feel like Bill Belichick's going to be pissed about that, but give me the Jets. Rich?
Yeah, you basically said it. This ain't going to be a high-scoring game, so both defenses are fairly stout and everything. I think they're going to do enough to keep this a low-scoring game. I do still like Ramondre Stevenson having a decent game and everything. He tends to fit well in a low-scoring game. He gets his numbers. I do like him a lot. But yeah, Jets plus 3.5 at the Patriots. I think they're going to kind of hold Mac Jones to not doing much. It's going to be more of a running game.
Hey,
I got the Jets also. I think the Jets are a little pissed off. They got screwed on a holding call against the Patriots that cost them the game a few weeks ago. And they've lost 13 straight to the Patriots. I think that ends this week. I think the Jets win outright. That's crazy to say that you go into Foxborough and win. If the Jets win this, they're in first place in their division, above the Bills, above the Dolphins, above the Patriots. I think they got a little bit to play for. I think they're pissed off on that. They got screwed on a call, and they're controlling the game by running the ball well. I think they're way better with Breece Hall, but I think that they still come in here. I'm just not sold on the Patriots. They're two different teams, like you said. And if they come out and play well, be the Patriots, be the Bill Belichick Patriots, that's a different story. But I like the Jets to come in and win this game.
Yep. Rams Saints. Abe, take it away.
I don't know why I picked. I can't stand the Saints, so I picked the Rams +3. I don't know what quarterback's going to show up. I actually, it sounds like Stafford's going to play because this spread went from 4.5 to 3 today.
Stafford's playing? I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, I don't know that for sure, but this spread went from 4.5 to 3 in a matter of like 3 hours. So I think that's why. I think I don't know why. I'm an Andy Dalton fan, but he just keeps throwing interceptions. Obviously the Rams are without Cooper Kupp. We'll see what they do. It'll be interesting to see what kind of team they put out there and what they do, because usually they just tend to catch every ball. So we'll see what happens, but I think the Rams are just a better team than the Saints. So I'll take them getting points anytime.
Yeah. I was hesitant if it was the Wolfman at quarterback, but I think Stafford's concussion was just kind of like a bad timing thing when he got into the protocol, so that's why he didn't play last weekend. So Justin said last night anyways. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess Matt Stafford, do something. Throw the ball to Van Jefferson, or I don't really care who. They can't run the ball. So, and their defense, maybe Aaron Donald can play running back. I feel like that'd be their best bet.
I mean, we're going to see that Kyron guy this week. I mean, is that who we're going to see? I mean, they have to go with a running back at some point. Not
Kyron Williams or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to try something different because their offense is very stagnant.
Rams have looked horrible. I don't know if you guys watched the game last week.
Bad.
Both teams were horrible and everything.
Yeah.
Now, same thing.
Yeah, they're not much better.
It could be another game, another same game, kind of duplicate of what happened last week and everything. Even if freaking Stafford plays, who's going to throw to? I mean, Allen Robinson just hasn't shown anything. Ben Skowronek, he might be the new Cooper Kupp. I picked them up in a couple of leagues because don't know what's going to happen and everything. Van Jefferson, I mean, Higbee's probably going to be the number one guy there. You just don't know and everything. With that being said, we don't know what kind of offense they're going to be without Kupp now, because Kupp was the one that was taking coverage from everybody else, and they still couldn't get the ball to anybody else. It was still going to Kupp and everything. So no run game. Their defense hasn't really been there at all this year either. This could go either way. I almost want to change the Rams too. Now that you guys saying Stanford might play, but you know what? I'm going to roll with the Saints at -3 at home. Let's do it.
All right.
Don't know what to expect that game.
Next game, AFC West battle. Rich's Raiders going on the road to Mile High Stadium. Broncos favored by 3 at home. Rich, go ahead.
Ride or die for the rest of my life.
Son of a bitch. You lied to me, Rich.
I don't know what I lied to you about.
I'm just kidding. I couldn't expect you to do it. I knew you wouldn't.
Man, look, we already beat them once this year. I know. Every time we go to the Broncos, we go and play at the Broncos. We always have a good game and everything. Yeah, man, horrible showing last week. Look, sometimes when the Raiders have a horrible showing like that, they come back next week, and this is a good team to come back against and just get a win in that bucket and stuff like that to keep the Raider faithful happy to a certain degree. Nobody's happy right now, but they got to make us happy with getting a win against the Broncos. It's amazing how beginning of the season, the AFC West was the talk of the town. and yet they're still the talk of the town, but for whole different reasons.
Yeah, dude, shit. They got 3 head coaches that need fired.
Oh my goodness, it has been a horrible showing for the excluding Chiefs and everything. I mean, the rest of the teams just haven't showed up.
Rich, how many carries does Josh Jacobs get this weekend? 14 or like 38?
20 plus.
It needs to be.
20
better be.
plus.
Give Zamir White the football too. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I might as well. I mean, is that we're already to that point as a season as it is or anything? So, yeah, let's see what he could do. But it's hard to go away from Jacobs, and even when as bad as they did, I mean, he looks good every time he touches the damn ball and everything. And it just makes you think what the Raiders are actually thinking, not going with him. You know?
Does Jarrett Stidham play this week?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be.
Jared Stidham.
Yeah, Stidham. I hate that shit.
I mean, Walker's out. Freaking Renfro's out. I mean,
yeah. I'm taking the Broncos because I don't know why. Yeah, pretty much. The Broncos really bad, but whatever. I guess let's ride, Abe.
No, whoa. Before Abe gets started, because when I was going on there earlier, putting in our picks,
I'll bring it up.
It started making me like, is this something we could do?
I put push earlier.
Yes, exactly. But go ahead, explain yourself.
Can we trade that down?
My original pick was push, and I switched it to Broncos just because it's an afternoon game. I've not bet well in afternoon games, so I want my guy Rich to get a Raiders W. So I'm going with the Broncos. Let's ride. So hopefully my afternoon game is another loss, and Rich gets a Raiders W.
I'm to the point now. I don't even know if I want to win for the rest of the season. I just want a high draft pick and stuff like that, and see what they go with it. Man, there's a picture on the Twitter machine with freaking Alabama's QB. I can't even think of his name right now. Already in a Raiders jersey, freaking holding his hand up, back of the jersey and everything. I don't know. I'm almost leaning that kind of direction because I want to see I want a high draft pick. Already to that point.
Hey, when you know, I guess, right? That's rough. Yeah. It's just a tough showing out there. Anyways, it is the week. Cowboys, Vikings. Vikings riding high. Best team ever. Cowboys. This would be a very Mike McCarthy thing to do. This is what Coach Sheps was saying, for the Cowboys to go get beat by the Packers and then go beat the Vikings. That's a Mike McCarthy move if Abe and I've ever fucking seen one.
Absolutely.
I give you the Cowboys. -1.5 on the road. Big Mike's going to be smashing fucking watermelons up there. He broke his fucking headset last week. And Dalvin Cook's going to score a touchdown.
Nate, I'm wondering. That's exactly what I think. You've seen Mike McCarthy do it too often where he loses a game. And then you're like, oh, they have this coming up next week, and they're going to get dominated and all that stuff. And the Vikings are coming off a huge high. That's why the Cowboys -1.5 also. I was absolutely shocked when I saw the Vikings were 1.5-point underdogs at home against the Cowboys this week. They're still not getting the respect. I mean, I know they, what's happened this year. I get it. They're still 8-1. I mean, you can't put that past them. That's not. I mean, I know they've had a couple lucky wins. I know they haven't had the easiest schedule. But they're still 8-1. So playing at home against a Cowboys team that just lost in overtime, to be 1.5-point, dogs is a little bit crazy to me. But I just exactly what Nate said. I've seen it happen way too many times. Mike McCarthy comes out on a game where he has no business being, the underdogs, and then they end up winning. So that's why I have Cowboys also.
They're just going to play good football.
Yeah, they're just going to try to go out and play good football. We're going to get back to the basics and play good football.
So this comes down to Ezekiel Elliott. If he plays, I like the Cowboys. But if he doesn't play, I like the Vikings. I don't think he plays. I like the Vikings and stuff like that. They're on a roll right now. Jefferson is a man. You know what? Freaking Hawkinson, man. He's slowly getting it done with him. He's getting, under the radar and everything. He opens that offense up even just a little bit more and everything. I like what he brings to the table. Jefferson, Thielen, Cook. I mean, they're just riding on a good, great cylinder right now and everything. And I think they continue at home and stuff like that in the dome. I like the Vikings.
I think take that horn and shove it up their ass.
Yeah, I can't stand that damn horn.
Fuck no. Bengals, Steelers. We like Bengals for obvious reasons. Anybody got anything to say besides, TJ Watt's there?
But the one thing I did see is that Mike Tomlin coming off a bye week coming off something against the Bengals or something is 5-1-1, but he just doesn't quite have that team that he used to. So
hard to beat a team twice too.
I still pick the Bengals.
They beat him week 1, but this is a different story. I think
maybe that's what it was. I saw a stat on it, but
not much to say about this game, man. I know TJ Watt's back and everything, but
he's not full strength. But like he still does change things, but still.
I mean, he looked good. I mean, he was getting at it last week and everything.
Anyone know about Minkah Fitzpatrick?
I don't think he's going to play.
See, that's a big difference also. So,
yeah. Chiefs Chargers Sunday Night Football. Chargers getting 5.5 points at home. Abe,
I have the Chargers nest, and I think their coach is absolutely atrocious. I think they're not playing well. I think that they get Mike Williams or Keenan Allen, possibly both back this week. I'm not certain on that. I think they went away from what they're good at last week. They didn't get Eckler the ball as much as he should have. And they, for whatever reason, they play the Chiefs really good,
Eckler.
Home and away. So for the Chargers to get 5.5 at home, back-to-back Sunday night football games, and they played absolutely terrible last week. I just like a division game. You're playing at home and you're getting 5.5 points. That's why I chose the Chargers. Who knows if they get their weapons back? I don't know. And it did look like Herbert looked a little bit more confident running the ball this past week. So maybe he's getting a little bit back to full strength. But the Chiefs are playing awesome. I mean, they're playing really good. But Chargers at home division game getting 5.5. It's hard to move away from.
Hey, what'd you say the Chargers running back's name was?
Eckler.
Oh,
why? What'd I say?
No, it's yeah, you did say it. I was kidding if you were gonna say it the other way.
Oh, Eckler.
There you go.
Eckler.
Rich. Yeah.
I like the Chiefs. They're the only bright spot in this division and stuff like that. Yeah. The rest of the division's horrible and stuff like that. So I think Chargers go in and win by 7, so they easily cover the -5.5.
I like Chiefs. I know they never ever covered last week. I like Tony to score again. It's like we don't even think about it. Like Patrick Mahomes throws for 300 some yards and 4 touchdowns, and it's like, hey, good game, dude. If any one of our quarterbacks did that, we'd be like, holy shit, they're back. You know what I mean? So I would just take it for granted, and I just think the Chargers are really shitty, mainly because of Brandon Staley. And
their defense.
Yeah. But he's a defensive coach. It should be good. Dumb fuck.
He's a dumbass coach, not a defensive
God,
coach.
He's terrible. Chiefs. All right, Monday Night Football in Mexico City. 49ers at Cardinals. I like the 49ers -8. I think Colt McCoy starts. Him and Cliff Kingsbury seem to have a better connection because Kyler's a little jabroni. Give me the Niners. Hey.
I'm picking the 49ers. I think they're my pick this week for the pick 'em or whatever. I just think they're playing good. They're playing good football. I think they're playing too good, and I think they're getting a little bit healthier. The Cardinals are terrible against the tight end. I think Kittle has a good game. There's no props out for him yet, but keep that in mind. Kittle hasn't been used. He had one really good game, and other than that, he's just been kind of out there as a decoy. Blocking a lot, doing all the little things. So I think he gets some. I think he puts some numbers up on a stat sheet this week. 8 points is a lot for a division game. I get it. I just don't think the Cardinals are good. I keep waiting for them to do things. They cut Benjamin this week. I don't know what that was about. Obviously James Conner's healthy, but that doesn't usually stand very long. It says a lot for Keontae Ingram. He's maybe a guy.
Oh, yeah.
You should go out and pick up. If you're trying to make a run later on, he could be the number one guy if James Conner gets hurt again. So I just think the 49ers are too good. I think they're way better than what their record shows. Their running backs right now with Elijah Mitchell and McCaffrey is really, really, really good. And then you add Debo and Ayuk and Kittle and Jimmy G. I mean, their team's better than what their record shows. This is a team that we're going to see, continue to ascend and be on the upward rise. So I think the 49ers win this game by 10 plus.
Yeah, not me. I think it's going to be it's Mexico. Everybody's going to go down there and get food illness and can't perform and stuff like that.
Ask Nate about his Mexico trip. How that treated him down there.
It's been a long time.
It was fine it was fine till I got home.
Oh.
I think the last time I was in Mexico to visit my family was back in, I want to say 1990. Been that long.
I was fucking 1 year old, Rich.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Nate, do you remember that?
Yeah. Jesus.
I was 15 years old. Had got time of my life while I was down there. I will say that.
But Tijuana, one of them fucking horse shows, weren't you?
Oh man, I'd go to the rodeos down there.
Yeah, that's what you call it.
Goodness, man, the rodeos down there are beautiful. Hot springs and everything, firecrackers.
Hey, we better stop talking about that. We're gonna get more.
This is why we're an explicit show. This is why
yeah, I can't even tell some of the stories that happened down in Mexico at that age. But
that's for Dollars and Deuces after hours. That'll be a couple hours,
which
later.
We are after hours.
later after midnight.
Yeah, look, Cardinals. Look, you know what? It's funny. If Murray was playing, I'd probably go 49ers.
That's it. Here we go. Colt McCoy.
Hook him. He changed that offense and stuff like that. They become more of a running offense. Connor looked good last week and everything, and they can control the game that way. And then on top of that, freaking 49ers just throw a wrench in the damn machine by freaking Elijah Mitchell coming back now. And you have McCaffrey back there, and Elijah Mitchell gets more rushing attempts and everything. Top of that, with McCaffrey being there, Debo, I know he's coming off an injury and stuff like that, but they don't utilize him like they did last year because of McCaffrey being there and everything now. So that kind of changes the whole aspect of their offense and everything.
Don't remind me, Rich. I know, because in Frankenstein this week, when you beat me, Debo will have like 6 points.
Hey, this is Frankenstein, man. Anything, you go from 6 points 1 week to 100 next week. So
hopefully.
I got a lot of players on bye, though. But back to the game and everything. I just think the Cardinals, look, I think the 49ers win the game. But look, -8 and stuff like that, it's not a huge spread like some of the other games that we were talking about. But these are both teams that are going on a away game. I know Cardinals are considered the home team and everything, and 49ers should have been considered the home team because it'd be more Mexicans there wearing. Well, I don't know. Arizona's a place where they go across the. Yeah, you know what? I'm rambling. I'm over here looking at the borders and everything. Cardinals cover the -8 and everything.
I like your prop though. Talk about this. This is one we've never put out there before.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah. So with that being said, I do have a player prop for this game. All this hype going into the game and everything. Mexicans, we're gonna be going "Viva la raza" and all that, eating tortas and tacos in the stands and everything. Have our flags and everything. And freaking first drive, you know how it's gonna end? In a field goal. That someone's going to drive down, just get in field goal range, and that's my player prop. The first drive of the game is going to end in a field goal being made, plus 500.
Hey, I like that.
I like that a
lot.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a fun player prop for people to look forward to.
Oh yeah. All right, long shot bets. Hopefully we do a little better. I like one of them's JT, 100+ rushing yards, and Hurts to score a rushing touchdown at 25-1. And then, that's not right. Not 25-1. It's 250. Sorry. And then I like JT, Chubb, Cook, and Tony to score a little parlay. I just think those are ones to lock in. So, Rich?
Yeah, my long shot bet for this week, it ain't really a long shot. Actually, this is a very doable and everything. Olave, I think Olave ends up being like second half player this year and stuff like that, really turns it on and everything. Who else they got to throw to? Although Juwan Johnson looked good last week, he did score a touchdown.
And Shaheen.
What's that?
My guy Shaheen.
Yeah, he didn't do nothing last week though. But Olave plus 75 receiving yards, I think that's very doable for him. There's a possibility that Jameis Winston might be back. They might go back to Jameis Winston, and if I remember correctly, Winston and Olave were starting to get a little chemistry built up before he got hurt and everything. So I do like Olave if Winston is at quarterback, and then I got here Kamala, but I'm talking about Kamara plus 1 rushing TD. So kind of like a little parlay to a certain degree at plus 330.
Yep. Abe?
My long shot bet, because there wasn't very many player props out yet, is just a money line parlay. Bears to win, Jets to win, Titans to win is 14-1. It's a long shot. I get it. I understand. I think the Bears have a good chance to beat Atlanta. I think the Jets have a good chance to beat the Patriots. And I think the Titans can beat Green Bay tomorrow night. So 14-1 is definitely a long shot bet. 3 teams that are playing pretty good. So that is my long shot bet is Bears to win, Jets to win, Titans to win. Parlay those together is 14-1.
Hell yeah. Cheers.
Nice.
Last but not least, finish up on a confidence pool. Last week I think I had 2 points. No, I did have 2 points somehow. I should have probably had 1. There we go. Abe had 3, of course, like normal. And Rich had 2 points as well. I like the Giants -3, Commandos plus 3.5, Panthers plus 13, 49ers -8, and Chiefs -5.5. Abe?
I have the Bears plus 3.5, the Jets plus 3.5, the Bengals -4, Chargers plus 5.5 because that spread has changed. I had plus 6, but that has changed now, so let's do that. And 49ers -8.
And I like Titans plus 3, Giants -3, Bears plus 3.5, Eagles -7, and the Bears -4.
Bengals, the other Bears.
Bengals, there you go, yeah. Bengals and Bears, oh my.
Hell yeah. Well, you guys got anything else before we go?
Hey, next week, we'll be previewing some stuff for Thursday Thanksgiving where we have 3 games. Yeah. So be looking forward to that. We're getting closer to fantasy playoff time. Things are starting to tighten up a little bit in divisions and football and getting colder. So looking forward to next week for sure.
And we have holiday squares for the Giants-Cowboys game. I know Abe got some 2 days ago. If you want squares, hit me up on Twitter, and I'll get you in the right direction. $5 for a square. There's probably 15 left, maybe, if that. So, Rich, you got anything else?
Nope. Another solid week of footballs coming up. Cold weather football's coming up. My son's bucket list. We're going to see some of those snow games this week. He wants to play in a snow game. Hopefully they end up being some awesome games to watch this weekend. And maybe a special guest next week. We'll see what happens.
Nice. Hey, just remember, hey, there's one thing you can control every day. It's your attitude. So have a good one.
I like that.